English here. A down long corridor, into the divine kitchen. Circular mound, because heaven was circular and earth was square. The long, busy corridor. Halfway. Mega busy. There's nothing really to see in there, it's not even lit up. It's roasting hot. So busy. There you go. Temple of Heaven, Beijing. So that's the Temple of Heaven. Bloody hellish. I love social media. If it wasn't for TikTok, you only see birds kitted there. Look at that. What the hell, what's the size of that tower? Wow. Kind of all the exhibits. All in all, it's a bit crappy. This is the Divine Kitchen. If I ever open a restaurant, I think that's what I'll call it. The Divine Kitchen. It's not much here, it's just empty buildings. They're all refurbished. And stuff inside's not worth looking at, as far as I'm concerned. The bar's quite high with me to impress me. This doesn't impress me that much. That does. Seven. Ming the Merciless. The entrance to Tiananmen Square. Tiananmen Square, but you can't just walk in. Same with the walking street, you've all got to reserve everything with your passport and they scan it at the entrance. Yeah, you've got to reserve a particular time slot and show up and put your passport in and then scan it and you'll get in, even though it's free. Mental. It just leaves big queues and lines everywhere. A lot of choke points in the pavement. There's people jostling to get in line. But there you go, that's how they work it here. Nice and peaceful at last. Well, I can hear a few thunderclaps in the distance. Not surprising, it's like 36, 37 degrees a day. Lakes of old Beijing. On the imperial days, you can see it. There we go. Now, I don't know how old these things are. I would suspect they've all been rebuilt or refurbished. Oh, that definitely has. I mean, come on. This little bridge has as well. For sure. I don't think there's much new stuff. Sorry, I don't think there's much historically old stuff in China. Thanks to the cultural devolution and the Great Leap backwards, a lot of that stuff was destroyed. Shockingly destroyed. It's like the forerunners to ISIS blowing up uh, Palmyra in Syria. Anyway, enough about that. But yeah, it's nice to get a bit of peace and quiet. And it's nice to get somewhere we can just walk in. I've made a few boo-boos here in Beijing that I'll pass on to you so that you don't repeat the same mistakes. This is the area surrounding the lakes, known as hutongs, like the old streets and alleyways with big residences like that with the gates. And I'm going to take a walk through one of them after I've went round the lake. Watching the lads play. Looks like mahjong. Oof. Slapping down their tiles. We're inside the residence of Sun Qingling. Quite a compound it is as well. A typical Chinese compound, outside walls, courtyards, little individual buildings. In case you don't know, she was the wife of Sun Yat-sen, Madam Sun Yat-sen, commonly known as the mother of modern China. Yeah, this is what I like when I think about China, stuff like this. Those lanterns would be lit up at night. Wonderful garden, trees. And there they are there. And she's a leader of the Kuomintang. In fact, she founded the revolutionary wing of the KMT back in the day. And she was one of the members of the, and the only female members of the newly installed communist government in the after the Second World War, 1949, 50. She played a significant role in the new Republic of China after the days of the last emperor and all that. The pavilions or pagodas, or I don't know what you would call it. We place to chill out. That might tell you. It tells me nout. I don't know what this. Maybe this was a water feature at some point. Yeah, it looks like it kind of might have been. Made a mistake coming to Beijing and not thoroughly researching how things work here. It's not a place where you can just turn up and expect to go places and get in and do this and do that. Nah. There's tickets, everything needs a ticket, everything needs reservations. It's all tied to your passport. If you want to get in a place, you buy tickets, and in the process of buying tickets, they ask for your passport number. And you don't even get an actual ticket. You just turn up at the place and they scan your passport number and it says you've got a ticket so you can go in. So, but a lot of the things, a lot of the places where you try and register, they use WeChat or they use something else, and because I've got a WeChat account, it's linked to my phone number. But then they want to verify my phone number, but I can't because I'm using an eSIM. So which means I need to put my SIM back in my phone, connect to my home network, who want to charge me roaming charges just to receive an SMS. It's a whole bollock. There might be an easier way to do it, but I was struggling last night to find a way. So I can't get into Forbidden City. I can't get into Tiananmen Square even though it's free. But you need to reserve a place to get in, morning, afternoon or evening. I can't even do that because I don't have a phone number to verify my WeChat, which is I'm on WeChat trying to do it anyway. You know what I mean? It's annoying, it's frustrating. But Forbidden City, forget it. I want to buy a ticket there. This is, what day is this? This is Friday the 7th. And the next available ticket on trip.com is the 18th. So if you want into the Forbidden City, either join a big group tour, which you might get you in. But if you want to do it individually, if you wake up one morning, I fancy going to the Forbidden City, no chance. I mean, the Temple of Heaven was easy to get in. You can just turn up and buy a ticket there and then, but you need your passport. But they do let you in. But the consequence of that is it's chocker. I was there yesterday. It was mega busy, and as nice as it is, when it's like that, it's not enjoyable. A lot of places here, wonderful, cracking, but they're not actually enjoyable just because of the amount of people coming through. And that's just the way it is, you know what I mean? I'm not complaining about it, but I'm just telling you, from my point of view, I don't find it enjoyable when you're surrounded by, I'm not saying Chinese people, but there's a lot of domestic tourism, and they're just loud, and and they're all elbows. When it comes to lines and queues, they're all elbows. But it's the way it is. Time of the year, August, it's obviously very busy. I would much prefer to come back in the winter. I think Beijing in winter would be fabulous. It wouldn't be as busy, wouldn't be as hot. I can't be bothered walking about in 35, 36C, pushing and shoving, getting frustrated with the language and the signs and paying for stuff, just using apps. So, yeah, bear it in mind. You can see that fish down there. Because this is exactly the sort of place that I would like. Courtyards, different buildings, gardens, little water features. Right up my street, this. Need to get over 1,000 subscribers first there. Right, so that was the lakeside. Let's go. So that thunder was getting ominous. I don't know what gate that is. That might be a gate for Tiananmen Square. Let me investigate. Lovely and peaceful looking. Oh really? I got a feeling it's going to piss down. Yep, without a doubt, it's going to piss down. Going by the way the wind's picked up, it's going to be quite a major downpour. The pandemonium if it starts pissing down. There's a lot of old guys and little kids, so you can't really smash people out of the way. I mean, you've got to watch what you're doing. Pavilion at the top. There it is, the Forbidden City. And look at the colour of that sky. It's mega busy up here, man. I think there's another level to go up, so I might try that. Yeah, here it comes. Right, better get out of here. That's the Forbidden City getting hammered with rain, and I'm about to get it, so I'm getting to. Bye.
啊，好大！
Well, can I say it wasn't warmed? Bloody hell, soaked. It's not funny. Camera's wet, phone's wet, passport's wet, money's wet. Could be in trouble here if it doesn't dry out. That was one of the worst showers I've ever been in. And I think it's starting again. I'm just testing this out. That's like 2 hours I was just waiting under a wee overhang just to get the worst of it away. My feet is bloody soaking. It wasn't that long ago I was moaning about the heat, and what happens? Oh dear. Can I make it up? Look at that sky. You know, sometimes when you've been out and about for a while, you forget what day it is, isn't it? Yeah, it's Friday night here in Beijing. That's why the traffic's so bad. And it's 7 o'clock. If you know, you know. If you're having a bad day, just remember, there's a kid in China trying to learn English. It's hard to believe that's almost 20 years old, isn't it? 2008 Beijing Olympics. That doesn't look 20 years old. Does that look 20 years old to you? Not to me, man. National Aquatic Centre. That's the National Indoor Stadium over there. And I think over there's where the Olympic flame was. Yeah, but it's still chock-a-block. Yeah, the old Bird's Nest Stadium. I remember seeing it for the first time back when they opened the Olympics, thinking, wow, China really knows what they're doing. And it's only got more and more impressive since then. So, after receiving a gold medal downpour, a gold medal soaking earlier on, I think it's about right I chuck it here, because I've got to get my shoes dried, I've got to get my passport dried, I've got to get my stuff dried out before I leave Beijing tomorrow morning. I didn't have a workaround for the reservation for Tiananmen Square. I'd have liked to have went there. I mean, I really liked to have went there. I'm pretty gutted that I never get in, just because I couldn't work out the reservation process with a phone number. I'm sure there is a way to do it. I know there's a way to do it, but I ran out of time last time yesterday, last night, trying to do it in the hotel's got Wi-Fi, but you need to confirm that it's a captive Wi-Fi. You know what I mean? With once you log in, once you connect, use the password they give you, and then you connect, and then you get a captive. You verify your connection with your mobile number. I don't have a fucking mobile number. Waste of time. I know it's not exactly for me, these things. It's a Chinese hotel for Chinese people, and they've all got mobile numbers, so it's geared up for them, but it's a pain. It really is a pain. Same thing happened with WeChat, trying to get this reservation. There is a way to get around it, I'm told, but I just couldn't work it out in time. and I don't think you can reserve on the same day. You can't like log in and reserve that day. Maybe you can, but I wouldn't waste any more time, because I was wasting time trying to mess about and try and do it. But I'm going to head back now because the weather forecast says we're going to get another downpour. And the subway, they wanted my passport as well. I mean, you don't show your passport to get in, but they were checking IDs on the way out of the way out of the subway, the exit. And I paid the exit with the WeChat, the Alipay transport card, taking my money, but they were holding me back for a security check. I was like, what if I didn't have my passport? Are you really not going to let me out the subway? I mean, you didn't need it to get in, so why the fuck do you need it to get out? Just another massive big queue of people putting their ID cards in the scanner. There's safety first, and then there's overkill, innit? Just got to balance the two. I think China's a wee bit that side of the too much, a bit too cautious. But saying that, you can walk about non-stop China and don't feel threatened, and you really feel safe. Maybe that's a consequence of all the security checks. Maybe it's, you can't have one without the other. I don't know, but it does seem a wee bit intrusive. But that's Beijing. Maybe it wasn't like that in Harbin, it wasn't like that in other places I've been. So I'll see if it's like that in Xi'an. Maybe Beijing's just one off. Right, I'll catch you later.